Hey guys, Luke here. So in my last video, I built a wooden arbor out of cedar for my wedding, and I told you all at the end that I was working on another project which was taking my whole house solar. Well, I finished the first portion of that project, and today I'm going to show you how I turned this empty wall in my garage into a power plant that is currently powering my garage and will eventually power my entire house. In this video, I'll show you the process of me doing that, installing the system, and how by doing it myself, I will have saved over $60,000. Which is a huge plus, but right alongside that is the knowledge gained by doing things yourself. There's two main reasons I decided to commit to this project. One is a core value reason, and the other is an urgency reason. The core value reason is my brain has an obsession with efficient systems. The sun is a giant powerhouse in the sky that is emitting energy every day, whether we use it or not. Our roofs, for the most part on our houses, go unused. It's wasted space. I feel in my perfect society, every new home that is built would include panels on the roof as part of the build. Every new home would become its own generator of power, and any excess would be exported back to the grid to be redistributed where needed. Number two, the urgency reason. Trump signed the One Big Beautiful Bill Act in July of 2025. The reason this is important is because it ends the residential renewable energy tax credits that homeowners can claim on their systems. Right now, this incentive allows homeowners to claim 30% of the total cost of their system as a federal tax credit. Now, this is no small amount when these professionally installed systems can cost over $100,000. It ends on December 31st, 2025. As someone who pays almost no attention to politics, by the time I heard about this mid-October, I had a decision to make. So after a bit of research, I decided to jump right in and order parts, and they all arrived by the beginning of November, giving me just 2 months to make this happen. So I wasted no time and I jumped right in. So let's start at the beginning where I was planning this out in my garage. I'm going to show you real quick, just a quick summary of what I've got planned. This is the layout over on this side. This is my garage wall. This is my main panel that feeds my house. And basically, I'm going to have a critical loads panel, and I'm going to move all of my lights and outlets over to here. And I have 4 strings of solar panels that are going to be powering this inverter to power these batteries to power this critical loads panel. Right now, for the sake of getting this system up and finished before the end of the year, I'm only going to have 1 string on the ground mount array. The other 3 are going to go on my roof next year after I reshingle my house. I'm going to start off by taking this wall off, since I have to put non-combustible surface anyway, so all of this is going to have to come off. So I'm going to move this, see what I'm working with, add some blocking so that I can mount all of this, maybe take that raceway up a little bit, and yeah, just see what I'm working with. So this is what it looks like with all the drywall off, and now I'm going to take a break from the drywall because my racks came, so I'm going to work on putting those together and show you what they look like. All right guys, these are Integra racks. They're basically ballast racks. They allow you to put multiple of these in a row, and then you can connect them via EMT conduit. These are very simple. They're 3 parts. One part goes here. This is the front part of the rack. And this is the back part of the rack. And the beautiful thing about this is this screw pops out and you can adjust it. So there's 15, you can see there, and I can adjust this angle of the solar panel. Very convenient. Like I said, the back piece slides in right here like that. We'll put 2 screws here, 2 screws here, and that'll hold those in place. And then I will have essentially 12 of these that I have to put together. So this is the EG4 280 amp hour battery. It's got 2 ropes here. I'm gonna use this engine hoist to lift it out because I can't actually lift it by myself. Believe it or not, this thing weighs almost 300 pounds. So it weighs a little more than the engine in my car. So I'm gonna use the engine hoist, lift this out, get some measurements, and see what it looks like inside. And we'll get ready to go from there. All right, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about these batteries. So as you can see, I've got this one standing up and it comes up to my waist. They are really big. Each of these containers actually contains 16 batteries in each of them. So it's kind of similar to like a Tesla vehicle. They actually have a bunch of small batteries in them instead of just one big battery. So I'm going to take the cover off this one and just show you guys what it looks like inside. So this is just a quick peek inside, just for anyone who's curious if you were looking online and all you see are pictures of the gray box. Now that I've got the batteries all measured, I'm going to throw some blocking in so that it looks a bit like this. Now all I have to do is run the wire, and then I can put the cement board up. This is 500 foot of 10 gauge THHN building wire. This is what's going to run inside the conduit for all of my panels. It was cheaper to just buy 500 feet of one color, so I'm going to mark which one's which, but the ground is still going to be black, and then the two conductors for plus and minus on the panels are going to be the red wire. So I went ahead and cut all of the wire to length, fed it through the flexible conduit, and got it taped up. They're all divided and marked. All I have to do now is put it up in this raceway in my garage, run it over and down the wall, and then meet it up in the attic where I will meet you now. This is the flexible conduit running through that raceway across my garage. Comes up to here. This mounts this piece of wood. These are the wires that go to the roof array, and basically the junction box is going to be mounted right in here somewhere. So we'll run those to there when the time comes. But the ground array goes through this sucker all the way down to the other end of the house, and then the bare copper wire that connects the copper ground rods. That's what this is for. You're required to have two now anyway. I had to have one by the structure of the panels, so I just connected basically two birds, one stone. Now I have two. I'm up to code, and I have one by my panels. So I'll attach this here with a lug, and I'll attach it at the other end of the conduit so that this is also grounded. So I'm going to walk along the end of this. This is the same thing that runs all the way down. You can see the bend down there. Comes down here. There's a bend, and then it goes down to that box, which is where the ground wire is sitting right now. Here. So I'm going to work on feeding that through this hole here, and I'll see you guys outside. I've got the EMT hooked up to the outlet up there now. I've got it running down the house. These straps are obviously not the right ones. They're just temporary until I can get some good ones, but that'll do for now. It's coming down into the transition from EMT to PVC. There's my bare copper wire from the other rod that came down from the attic. I'm gonna put a rod in literally right there next to it. That'll be my second rod for the whole house and also my rod for the panels. And then this PVC is going down in this trench all the way over to right here and coming up out of this pipe. And I'm gonna shorten this pipe here once I figure out, or once I get it all done and figure out how high I want it. Okay. So this is the one that's connecting it's the constant unbroken bare copper wire that goes up to my attic and goes to the other rod. So now both rods are connected together, and this one is going to be the one coming from here for my array. And now that all the blocking and the wiring is done, I can start to prepare this wall for mounting the batteries. Alright, I'm getting ready to mud these seams. I'm no drywaller, but I'm just gonna basically patch these the best I can so they're not so obvious when I paint over them. Same with this one and where the screws are, and that's about it. While I was painting the wall white, Elon Musk made this tweet, which made me feel very vindicated in my decision to go ahead and start this project. Because if anyone understands energy, it's this man right here. Okay, so as you can see, it just dropped down right where it's supposed to be. Let me take this off and show you guys real quick. So on the back here, this just dropped down here and here. So it's latched in. So all I have left is to adjust these feet here. And it should be, see how close we are on the bottom. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Just a tiny bit of gap right there. That way there was nothing like preventing air from blowing under it. So nice. All right, we got the 12,000 XP up on the wall. I didn't record myself doing that because I couldn't do it by myself. So I asked my wife to help me. We got it up here. It looks like it fit perfectly. I just need to scoot it this way a little bit, but gonna knock out these center parts here, put a conduit across to the other side so we can parallel these batteries, and working on getting all these connections hooked up. Now I've got everything wired up. This inverter doesn't have the ability to export to the grid, but you can import. So right now that's what this wire hanging out here is doing. I'm just using it to charge the batteries to 100% before first use. All right, since I installed the system, this is the first day we've had of real sun to really give the solar panels a good test. So I'm gonna go back in the garage and we'll check out how the system's doing. All right, as you guys can see, this is the raceway now. So all my wires have been moved over a little bit, and now my garage motor is no longer in the raceway. So that's a positive. I've cleaned it up a little bit. I've got a little loose ends down here. At the end, I've got to finish up, but I'm gonna wait until it warms up a little bit to finish that up. So I've got the 2 batteries, the inverter, sub panel, main panel. Everything is functioning. I have everything hooked up. The inspector's already come out, checked off. I've passed everything. I'm excited. My whole garage is powered by the sun right now. I have a few outlets and things, mostly lights, because all the LED lights take basically no power at all in the house running off of it. And I have the water heater running it. And all of this is running on just 6 panels right now. And it's, and even in the winter, even on the days where we have hardly any sun at all, the batteries are enough to maintain just those few things until the next day when there should be some sun, hopefully. So today, as you can see, generating almost 2,000 watts here and there. The sun's having a hard time peeking through the clouds. It's a really cloudy day, but earlier around noon, I was producing the full 2,400 watts, which is awesome because 6 panels at 400 watts, that should theoretically produce 2,400 watts. Ideally in the summer, we should produce way more power than we're using. So we should have most of our loads covered under the sun, and then all the excess will go in the battery for use at night. All right, guys, that's the system. I got the hardest part done, which is getting a system in place that will convert the sun's energy into power that I can use to power my house. The system in the summer, once I get all the panels on the roof, should function in a cycle that works something like this. The sun is going to power all of our loads during the day, and then all of the excess energy that's being generated is going to be stored in these batteries. And that will happen during the day until the sun goes down, the sun stops producing power or enough light to produce power. It'll switch to the batteries. From that point on, it'll run from the batteries just until you go to bed. Once you go to bed, you aren't really using any power. So overnight, you're not using a lot of power. So essentially, you're just using the batteries for a few hours at night, and then until the sun comes out the next day. Once the sun comes out the next day, the cycle repeats. You're charging your batteries during the day, discharging at the night. Charging batteries during the day, discharging at night. And it's just a loop. And you just slowly, as I know what the system can handle, I just move over circuits to the sub panel. If it's ever too much, I can just move it back. So thank you all so much for watching. In a future video, I'll do a review of how the system has been doing, and I'll do a cost breakdown once I have time to monitor the system. Probably once I get the panels on in the summer, that way I can see how the system is doing at full capacity. Since it's officially cold and winter outside, I'm going to be coming inside and focusing on tech for a bit. Starting next week, I'll be releasing a series on the Raspberry Pi board. They are really fun to play with, and they can be used to do all kinds of cool things. I use them in a lot of my projects, and in this series I'm creating, I'm going to show you how to do things such as create your own VPN server, create your own cloud server, open your garage with your phone, things like that. So if that's something that interests you, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you right here next week.